What's up, guys? It's Steph Allen, and welcome back to Brotherhood Rising. If you're ready to build real strength mentally, physically, and spiritually, this is the show for you. No fluff, no hype, just rear? Man, I messed that up. But we're going to keep rolling. Real conversations and real growth. That was the first time I butchered that intro. So, you know what? It is what it is. It's all good. Guys, man, I am excited. For today's episode. It's an interview episode that we are doing. I'm going to introduce my guest here in 1 second. But man, number one, just thank you guys so much for all of the love, all the support, watching on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple, anything like that, man. I've seen some of the reviews lately, and it's been awesome to just read your guys' feedback. Please continue to do that. And if you feel like any of these episodes, especially today's episode, resonates with you or might resonate with someone you know, man, share this episode. That's the only way this message gets out. That's the only way the mission that I'm on to help encourage and lift up men is going to be spread. And that's just by you guys being generous and being bought into this concept and sharing it and spreading it out. So I just want to appreciate you guys and let you guys know that. Other than that, I don't have many housekeeping things to do, so we're going to jump into it. Today on the Brotherhood Rising, I have the honor and the privilege to hang out with, talk to my guy, Mikey Brown. Mike, Mike and Ike. What's up, man? How you doing?
What is going on, dude? I'm happy to be here. Happy to hop on this with you, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Me and Mikey were just talking, and he joined the Brotherhood back in April,
hmm
which is time flies. And I remember that conversation. I was at a coffee shop. I was outside when we talked on the phone. I was outside on in the parking lot, just walking around, just having a conversation with you. And we clicked right away. And we kind of know each other more through like social media,
hmm
Earth Form, and like Supplement Superstore. But man, when we got to talk and we got to connect, it was just an instant connection. And man, ever since you've been in the Brotherhood group, I've just seen a trajectory of going up, growth, not only mentally but spiritually, and like how you're leading your family. And man, it's been so cool. So we're gonna just dive into Mikey, his story a little bit, his Brotherhood journey, where he's at now, and I think more importantly, where the Lord is leading him and in the direction that he's going. So, yeah, man, let's just dive into it. Mikey, tell us a little bit about you, about the Mikey Brown, where you're from. What do people know you for? I mean, you got a Chicago Bears. I'm confused a little bit. You got a Chicago
Dude, I got
Bears thing
everything. I
back
got everything.
there, and then you got
Yeah,
a Denver Broncos head.
that's a story. So actually,
Yeah.
I'm sitting out in my bar.
Okay.
I have this fantastic shop on the backside of my property. We'll call him like my father-in-law. He helped me build this. But actually, this
Oh, okay.
behind me is kind of like an ode to actually my dad. My dad passed away, and so I got a lot of his knickknacks and different things. He's got different
Nice.
trophies. So that trophy is actually from his professional frisbee golfing days.
Snap.
He won the pro-am back in '91. So I was born, and he was apparently out frisbee golfing.
Just
So that's
throwing
a
the
great
disc around.
story. That's a great story, right? Huge Denver Broncos fan and everything else. But yeah, that's why I'm a little all over the place. I got the Bush Stadium over here. So all sports, all things. It's kind of how I grew up. Multi-sport athlete. Did what I could. Couldn't do contact sports. I have a congenital heart disorder. So
Mm.
it's crazy. I've actually had two open heart surgeries, um,
Okay, I
which is
did not know
wild.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So
How old were you when
born
you
with
had those?
it. So born with it. My first one was when I was 19. It just waited until I was an adult in
Yeah.
order to basically take care of that. Went with an organic valve because I had plans to be in the military. Then the military said no because a liability, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it, by luck or what call it, I hopped on a plane and went halfway around the world to Australia for about 6 months to work at a hotel. That was unbelievable.
What?
Yes.
I did
So
not know that either. I'm just
yeah,
learning
dude.
all kinds
So
of good
friends of
stuff.
the family, it was an opportunity to go. She paid for flights, she paid for visas. We got to live in the hotel, and basically I had to work. And it was like, okay, like what do you want us to do? And it's like strip beds and make beds and do laundry. I was like, You're gonna fly me to Australia so I can fold some clothes?
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, I don't even care. Don't even
I'm
care.
for it.
All for it. And then when I was over there, I started bartending because you can drink at the age of 18. So I started
Oh.
bartending at 19, which is kind of crazy. And then started working in the kitchen. And I fell in love with the kitchen side of things. So I actually came back and went to culinary school. Was in culinary school, had an opportunity to get into a pretty prestigious academy, the CIA, which is the Culinary Institute of America. I was actually going to go out to Hyde Park in New York. It was going to be fantastic, but God had other plans, and I didn't end up going. And I went back into the firehouse, which is kind of something that I had started when I was in high school, right out of high school. Again, that
So
calling of
you
trying to do more.
so you graduated. So did you graduate and then go to Australia?
So I graduated, and I basically, for lack of better terms, I pissed around for a year in junior college, and
Okay,
then went. That
gotcha.
was It's kind of how that went.
Just you can't say I didn't try.
Right. I went and I was like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Just kidding. This is awful, right?
Got
And
it.
life be lifing. And so
Life be life.
I took that opportunity and I went. And
Man,
then coming back, it was I was in like I said, I was in the kitchens for a long time doing some things, but nights, weekends, holidays, and then I just fell into a very dark place. Anthony Bourdain, he talks about it in his book Kitchen Confidential. And then
mm.
bartending downtown and doing stuff like whatever you imagine with the nightlife.
Oh, dude, I have
That's
no
where I
idea.
was. You
Yeah,
don't?
I mean,
Well, gee, let me
you don't
tell you.
well, you don't think about that side of like the industry. You obviously think about being entertained or being wined and dined and like
Hmm.
being a part of you being on the receiving part of the experience, but not like the delivering, whether it's
Right.
waitresses or bartenders or cooks or people back in the kitchen. Yeah, I don't even think about that. So again, you don't have to, you can get into whatever you want, but like, what was that lifestyle like? So at what age were you at this point?
21,
So
prime
21,
age. Yeah.
21, you knew it all. Like no one could tell
Oh yeah.
you
Well, it would have
anything.
been before 21. I would have been 20 when I came back from Australia. So then being the young kid, but being in the restaurant, I knew everybody and everybody knows everybody in the industry.
Yep,
So definitely started underage drinking right away,
yep.
with friends, family. They were
Mm-hmm.
in the restaurant industry
Right,
because it was just easy, right? Like
right.
after we close over here, we're gonna go across the street to this bar, and everybody's going. And because you're sitting with 10 different people that are from the restaurant, like we're not gonna ID you. We're just yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take a Bud Light.
yeah. That's normal. I
I don't
do
even
that.
know what else to order, but I know I'll take a Bud Light bottle.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask me any other questions.
Yeah, just leave it at that. Leave it at that.
I don't know. Yeah, but no, it's. Have you seen Waiting, the
Yes.
movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that bad. I mean, I
Okay.
guess it can be in
Wait,
certain
am I
aspects.
thinking, is that the Dane Cook movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Dane
yeah.
Cook and young
Uh-huh.
Deadpool. What the heck is his name?
Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, young Ryan Reynolds, and Dane Cook. Yes,
Yes.
so it's not that bad. I mean, we're not keep it PG. We're not pulling out body parts and doing
Yeah, that's I
the
mean,
bat wing and
that's
the
like
goat,
exactly
right?
where my mind went. So I got you.
Right, the goat.
Yep.
No, we
Yep.
don't. No, it's not that bad. But as far as the camaraderie and as far as like just who's in the back of the kitchen and the amount of shit talking, right? But then going back to that like Anthony Bourdain side, like you're just a part of that life, man.
Yeah.
And then you go downtown and then you work in the bars and one thing leads to another and then it's promiscuous women,
Yep.
it's drugs, it's everything, right? I
Yeah.
smoked like a chimney, I smoked weed, I started doing cocaine. I
Yeah.
started doing different pills. Different pills led to different uppers or downers, and it was the festival lifestyle, right? I was with that crowd that like
And this was
we'd go to,
in Illinois back home?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And were those, the drugs, the alcohol, was that because of any other life things going on, or was it just like, hey, everyone's doing it, so why not?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
Definitely both. Parents, my mom and real dad weren't together. And then I grew up with my stepdad, and they got divorced right when I hit high school. And so like I didn't have a whole lot of mentorship or men. And then he and I kind of got into it. So I actually stopped going over to his house. And so like my brother and
Mm,
sister would go, and then it would be just me. My mom did the best she could, right?
yeah,
Single mom, doing the things kind of back on her own. But I had different men kind of in and out as
yeah,
far as guys that my mom were dating. Some I attached to really hard,
yeah,
and some I didn't, right? And so with that, I mean, that's a time of it's an age and a time frame where you're really moldable.
yeah,
And you take a lot of influence, right? And so reaching out to guys that were just obviously like I was young and
mm,
impressionable, and I worked with guys that were on the kitchen line and doing things, and man, they are so cool. And I'm gonna get
right,
into a bar and I'm gonna be able to do this with them, and they're playing pool and doing this, and the next thing you know, like here's these extra things that come out,
yeah,
and just kind of being a part of the group, right? I'd smoked weed and different things in high school, but it never got to anything beyond that, right?
yeah, right,
So some of it was opportunity, and then I think some of it was also just I wanted more for my life. I
yeah,
would have been in the military, like I said,
yeah,
and I was definitely going to be a lifer. My grandfather was a Marine, and then actually switched over to the Army. He graduated from Sergeant Major's Academy. Like, so he moved all the way up in rank.
yeah,
So there's a lot of being more, you know what I mean? And I guess when that opportunity kind of just slammed in my face, it was like, all right, well, you only got one life to live. I got a new heart.
yeah,
Time to go
yeah.
live it up.
Was
And I did.
was there like did you have were you was there resentment, I guess, like towards the fact that you couldn't like join the military? Because I guess in my mind, like knowing you the way that I do now, I'm like, yeah, bro, like if Mikey says he's gonna do something, there ain't no question. Like he's gonna do it, and he'll probably do it 10, 15, 20 times better than you thought he was gonna do it. You're just that above and beyond kind of guy, which is why I'm so blessed to just know you. So I can only imagine like the effort and the energy that you knew you were going to put
Hmm.
into the military
Oh
had
yeah,
you had that opportunity. The fact that
absolutely.
you didn't, did you walk away and was there just like anger and resentment towards just
Oh,
the
I
fact
was
that that wasn't a reality
pissed.
for you? Yeah,
I was pissed
yeah,
beyond all measure.
yeah,
Got into high school. I didn't know. Like the whole moving back and forth and different things. The divorce came, and so then we moved into the different town, like kind of the big city, if you will. Moved in
yeah,
Peoria.
yep,
So that goes all the way to the beginning of this conversation. I'm from Central Illinois, so I'm right in the middle of
yeah,
Chicago and St. Louis.
yeah,
So Peoria is pretty big. I moved into Peoria, very different demographic than across the river, as far as skin tones and who does what's and what's around.
yeah,
So you got the country boys and the white dudes and a lot of the old school racist conversations, and then over here you've got the hood, and you've got the
yeah,
brothers, and you've got everybody else, but like it's a whole hodgepodge. My freshman year I didn't know anybody, right?
yeah.
Like
Did you go to
I
a big
was
school?
completely no. I graduated with a class of 400. So
Okay,
I mean, it's
pretty average.
average,
Yeah,
relative size around here. Sophomore year or freshman year, I found out that they had an ROTC program, and I wasn't involved. And so sophomore year, I got into it, and of course, it was a Marine Corps ROTC program. So
you're
from
like that's
sophomore,
freaking
junior,
wild.
senior year, I was, once or twice a week, I was dressing in the digits or in
Yeah,
dress blues, going to school, doing the thing, right? And so coming out,
you had already made
it
up your
was
mind like this is
I'm
where I'm
going.
going.
This
Yeah,
is there's no, and
yep,
I did everything. I
yeah,
did everything under the sun to try.
yep.
I went to the Marines, I went to the Army, I went to the Navy, and they all like phone a doc and did some stuff. One guy basically wanted me to lie on my report to not say that I had a heart problem to try to get
Mm,
in. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna take my blood pressure and you're gonna know something's wrong.
yeah,
I can't hide it. Like, I don't know what
yeah,
you're talking about, buddy.
yeah,
Because I was in ROTC, I went the route of trying to go into get a scholarship for
mm,
college. So Olivet Nazarene, which is
yeah,
where the Bears they used to do their spring training and stuff. So I applied for there. I had a full ride opportunity pending a medical.
mm,
Obviously, I failed, and then they tried to backdoor me. Coincidentally enough, to become like a counselor or a chaplain, so that I didn't have to be in combat.
Okay.
So because it is a Christian college, it was this back door. I never thought about being a chaplain, but I was
Yeah.
like, if I can be in the military and I can be an officer and I don't have to do like, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, well, you still technically have to go to boot camp during like one of your summers, and we can't send you to boot camp with your heart condition. I'm
Mm.
like, even though I have a stack of paperwork from my cardiologist that's like, he's fine. Like
Yeah.
from where I'm at with my medical degree or my medical issue, basically it's you're one end of the spectrum or the other. Like it's
Mhm.
typically frail and fragile or
Yeah.
obese.
Yeah.
And not to this is the only time I ever get to toot my horn, and I do it
Yeah.
all the time. But he's like, "You are such an anomaly that I was his case study." To where when he
Yeah.
went to conferences, it was we can do this and we can do this for these kids and we can do this for these kids, and he's like, "Okay, that's great, but what you just did is you made your kid into my kid. What can you do for my kid
Right.
to make him better?"
Yeah.
Because you're not just 6 foot, 185 multi-sport athlete with
Mhm.
my heart condition.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of unfathomable for
Right.
people. And then they
Wow.
see me, they're like, "You have a what?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yes, I know." So
Dang.
life has been crazy, man. And like I said, it just you grew up and yeah, it was I was very resentful. And
Mhm.
so I think that and then I had the surgery and then right after surgery knowing that like I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm lost. I don't
Was this
have
your second
a
surgery
sense
or
of
your first
direction.
one?
This would be the first one. Yeah.
When you were 19?
Yep.
And then
So
when
then
was
it's
your
like,
second one?
no, 25.
25.
That's another story.
Did you
Woo,
have to
buddy.
get another surgery, or
Yep.
did something go wrong? Okay.
No. So I decided to take it was an organic tissue valve. And so it was actually from a pig and it's naturally going to deteriorate over time.
You're right.
And so basically, I knew that I'd have to come up on it. And the reason why I went that route, they do make a medical, or excuse me, a mechanical one that
Mhm.
could last me the rest of my life.
Mhm.
But that comes with limitations, and I'd
Yeah.
have to be on blood thinners. And I was
Mm.
like, I'm 19 years old. You're not putting me
Yeah.
on blood thinners. Like, I have
Yeah.
a mouth that gets me in
Yeah.
trouble. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in a street fight and
Yeah.
or down at a bar, and I'm gonna die. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like,
It's like,
what
I see the
option B?
direction of my life. We're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. We're just gonna pass right over that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
had the first one. It was supposed to last anywhere from 12 to 15 years on average. I was in and out of it in 6, just
Dang.
because I am who I am. And I
Yeah.
kind of went full bore. And some of that was probably self-induced with the drugs and some of the other
Yeah.
things for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together at the time because I mean, when you're going to the strip clubs and nightclubs and you're doing God knows what with God knows who, it just
You're just like, what heart valve? What? Who? What are you talking about?
I don't have a problem.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm
Wow,
good.
man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean that alone is a good, I think most, I mean, in my mind I'm like that's a good unpacking, if you will, of just who you were. I mean, before the Mikey that I know
Right.
now,
Yeah.
which it's I'm just like, man, God, you're so good. And who knows what all you dodged, like not being in the military, or if you would have like lied or got in on the, in a back end way, like what could have
Hmm.
potentially happened to you. And I think, we talk about this a lot in the Brotherhood group. I'm just like, man, God is sovereign and so good, to the fact that speaking for myself, there are so many instances where I'm like, probably shouldn't be here still, just with
Yeah.
poor decisions I've made.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I'm still here, I'm like, man, God, you had a plan and you loved me so much that you were just not going to allow anything to ruin the plan that you had. Even though I thought my plan was better, my
Oh, of
direction was
course.
better. Obviously, it wasn't. But so I'm praising God, I guess, hearing all of that, because a lot of that I didn't know, and to see you now, and to see the impact you have now, and to see where you're going now, and to see what God is doing in your life now, and to see who God is to you now.
Yeah.
Like, even talk about that. Like, where was your faith at? What did that look like pre Brotherhood? So you can go back as far as you
Yeah.
want. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
whatever you want to share. Like, what was your faith like before it is what it is? It was what it is now.
How was that that CEO Christian? The Christmas, Easter, and other special holidays,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what it came down to. My man. I didn't grow up in that household at all. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we did, but we didn't. It was really weird. My stepdad is actually Thai, and so my grandma is Buddhist, and
Mm-hmm.
so there's some contention over there. My other grandma, she fits the mold of exactly what you think about when your grandma goes to church and how she may or may not act with certain people.
Yeah.
I love her dearly, and she's definitely like, I know that she means well. It
Mm-hmm.
just, at the time of growing up, there were certain ways in which she would say things or how she phrases things that it kind of cuts a little deeper than what it
Sure.
should
Mm-hmm.
because it's her. It wasn't actually until my senior year, junior, senior year of high school, that I started hanging out with a group that was going to church. And it was great. But I was definitely the outcast of the group.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of the clique. There's like
Mm-hmm.
four. There's like 4 or 5 core guys, and then there was like 15 of us collectively. But I
Yeah.
wasn't in that group. And
Sure. Yeah.
so it was weird. And I would go and we did the youth group stuff. But at the time, I was dating a girl and we were doing everything but what the Lord had planned for us.
I've been there.
Because
I've been there. I get it.
I'm 17, 18, 19 years old, and I'm thinking with other body parts, right? It doesn't correlate. It doesn't
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with it at the
Yeah.
time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? At the time, right? This is BC Mikey.
BC. Yep.
So, and then basically kind of after that group, like after high school, real quickly, like you realize certain friends aren't necessarily your friends, or you're
Mm-hmm.
not as close with people as you expected or thought. And
Yep.
so I honestly don't talk to anybody from high school anymore.
Nope.
I talk to one dude.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Jordan. He lives down in Florida. We see each other when we can.
Yeah.
He came to my wedding. Like, I still love him. And basically, like, the only reason why we're friends is because he moved in with his grandma to go to high school up here. And on day one, neither one of us knew each other. And we ended up being in like 3 different classes
Nice.
together
Yeah.
freshman year. So it's like, we're now best friends, right? Yes. Cool.
We can talk
Okay. Like,
anybody
let's
else.
go. And it's been that way ever since.
That's
So,
awesome.
but he's the only person, right?
Yeah.
But we'll go 6, 8 a year without talking to each other. And then we just kind
Yeah.
of pick up where it left off. And then it's like,
Bro,
okay, I'll talk to you in a year.
in my opinion, this is kind of off track, but not really because we're just talking about us. But those are real friends. Like
Hmm.
if I don't have to text you or you don't have to text me, and it's been a couple months since we've seen each other, talked to each other, and then we can just out of the blue crack a joke or text one another and just like we didn't miss a beat. Like
Yeah.
those are friendships the guys who are like, hey man, I haven't heard from you, and I'm like, bro, I got 3 children. I'm
Hmm.
running a business.
Hmm.
And there is like, and we're playing like I can't. We're not teenagers. Like I don't just sit around and just text
Right.
people all day
Man, like,
anymore.
I'd really love to get together. Like, bro, I have a hard time dating my wife. What
Yeah,
makes
like
you think I
that's
want
a
to go on a
priority.
date with you?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
You got
facts.
priorities, bro, because like, there's
That's good.
there's sexpectations over here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I take her on a date where something good might happen because like I don't have kids at home. I go on a date with you,
Expectations.
she's home with the kids and pissed off by the time I get back.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. It's so true. It's so true. Moral of the story: look for the friends who you can not text for like 6 months. They're still gonna be there. Like
Exactly.
those are the
Exactly.
real.
My
Those
wife's
are the
best
real
friend is
ones.
the same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think of my
Yes.
friend John, like, and he'll randomly say, because our friendship has like kind of grown a lot over the last like couple years, but he'll randomly
Yeah.
be like, he said this one time, like when our friendship was really starting to ramp up, just about, man, sorry, I haven't reached out in a while, like life's been, I'm like, dude, I am the last person you have to apologize for. Like, don't worry about it. I will be here in 6 months, 8 months, a year. It does not. If
Right.
we see each other, cool. If we don't, that's okay. Like
Right.
it's all good. So, but
No,
he's
we're
he's
good.
a he's a guy who's been a real good friend to me for a long time, and I'm just like, bro, we can talk when we talk, and if we don't, just know that it's all good. Like
Yeah.
no expectations over here for me. But man, that's cool. So church for you was more of like it was more of a social thing in towards the end of high school, and then
Hmm.
after that, was it just like non-existent,
Non-existent.
non-existent,
Non-existent.
not even thinking
Not
about it,
even
processing it?
Not even remotely close. So I grew up, like I said, the family that I come from is all blended families.
Right.
So in order to have a blended family, it means families separated,
Hmm.
right? And with that comes different ideologies and different thought processes on
Yeah.
stuff. And
Okay.
I have different family members that think differently, don't align with kind of where I'm at now. But at the
Yeah.
time, it was I saw the world very differently. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I was more open to, well, if this is how you feel, and why would God make you this way, or why
Yeah.
would you feel that way?
Yeah.
Then kind of that Buddhist approach of like, just be a good person, like just do whatever, right? And then it was karma and just woo woo, be good, out in the world and look at your horoscope every once in a while, and
Mhm.
like it's I don't know, man. And so it was just different. Like there's something bigger. There's something divine, maybe. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. Obviously, we're not here by just like randomness,
Accident.
accident. It'd be a very fortunate accident, right? Like if the moon was any closer, like gravity and different things, or if this thing was off by just this much, like we wouldn't be alive. Like there's just so much, right? And then young Joe Rogan fan, right? Like watched all of his stuff come high school and like the turn of YouTube. So
Yep.
you listen to a lot of people that he interviews about things from God knows when in
Yeah.
history,
Right.
and it's just like, okay, well then, like I don't know where this goes or where this leads, and so it just kind of, it didn't get brought up. And then
Hmm.
even when my wife and I were it was, she actually had a lot of Asian things in her house, and it was
Hmm.
kind of like there was a pole there immediately. Like I go over to her
Oh,
house and it's like
yeah.
black and red, and she
Yeah.
had like Buddhas and different things up, and I'm like, I could dig this girl. Like, okay. Our first date was sushi. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, like you would fit my whole family and like how I grew up. And you're, in the restaurant, and you're doing the things, and you're
Oh, that
boss.
makes
You know
sense.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it just like, okay, here we go. Like, so it just clicked. But then it was like just being a better person. And we both like have talked about our grandmothers and where things were.
Mhm.
And obviously we've been baptized as kids, but like we didn't go to church together. We didn't do anything. We went with our dad maybe once or twice. But that was it. Like we didn't,
Yeah.
church wasn't a thing. God wasn't necessarily a premise in our life. And all of that came to an abrupt turn.
So that's I'm looking at our messages when we first talked, and this was back in April. You talked about
Hmm.
how life has been a lot of changes with work and home life. My wife and I are going to church more regularly. I've started a daily devotional. You're in the leadership devotional. So in my mind, hearing your background, and I remember some of it as you were telling me about that. I didn't know the stuff about your wife with the Asian kind of
Hmm.
influence that she had, which
Yep.
is very interesting. But that totally makes sense. A part of that draw from her, or why you
Yep.
had that draw to her, that totally makes sense. So this was in April. What was going on in April and the couple months before that you started going to church, you're doing devotionals? Like, did something happen? Did you have this encounter? Like, what brought you to that point?
I had a 7-year-old little boy ask me why he wasn't baptized. And that's when things happened. So back in November, my little brother and his wife basically asked my wife and I to be godparents to my nephew. And it was like, absolutely, right?
Hmm.
Like, okay, sure. I
Yeah.
know what that means,
Yeah.
but I didn't apply it the same way that I obviously do now. But like at the
Hmm.
time, it was like, okay, yeah, like reach out, be the best uncle ever. When he needs something, he can't go to his dad, I'm gonna be there. And if anything happens to you guys, I don't know if it's in your will or your trust or whatever, but like we would happily take that
Yeah.
responsibility on and raise him the way that you want him to be raised.
Yeah.
That's the gist of like
And I'm like, does that still
godparent.
happen?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you don't
So,
hear about that a lot.
so I mean,
I
when
have a
we went up there,
godmother. I have a godmother, but I'm just like, I don't, that's interesting. But anyway, sorry, that just made me
yeah. So
ADHD.
went up. They go to a Lutheran church, and so
Okay.
like Brittany and I stood up there with Jet and Riley, and then
His
the
name's
the
Jet.
christening. His name is Jet, Jet. Uh huh. I know, dude. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. And those are
Bro.
the only two people that I know have that name, besides like Jet Li, but he doesn't count because he's a celebrity. Yeah.
His
And
name's
that's actually
Jet.
Jet, Jett,
Wow.
named after
Coincidence?
Jet Li. I don't think so.
No way. No way.
No way.
Okay, go
Exactly.
ahead.
So asked us to go. And of course, what kid doesn't ask you questions, right? And
Yep.
was I baptized? No, you weren't. My daughter was baptized, but my daughter was baptized because also blended family, BC life, Mikey. We'll just skip that part. But her mom, and I aren't together. And she was going to church with her dad and doing some things. And then Lily started going. Lily got baptized probably like 2 years ago. So then this came up, but Jackson just like doesn't remember any of that, which is surprising because the kid has a mind like an elephant and he
Yeah.
remembers everything,
Yep.
right? You bring something up. Remember this one time when I was 4? Like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's what my boys do. I'm like, no,
like,
I don't
dude,
remember that at all.
are you sure?
Makes
That
makes
was
me
last
feel
week.
bad. Yeah, right. That was really when you were 4?
Really? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Tuesday, you know? So we do the christening, we do some stuff, and then coming back home, conversations just started flowing. It was like, okay, well then I want to be baptized. Like, I'm not going to tell you no,
Mm-hmm.
but I want you to know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And you should know what that means first. So I think the best thing to do would be to take you to church so you can learn more and kind of do that. Obviously, by taking
Wow.
him, I have to go myself, right?
Yeah.
So the church that the church that my daughter's mom goes to isn't a bad church. It's bigger than where we go. And sometimes demographics and different things, like you get different vibes from different people.
Yeah.
So we didn't really want to go there. But literally a half a mile down the road from us is a church on the main highway. And sitting out front are lifted pickup trucks, old school muscle cars, Harleys.
And you're
The
like,
dude at the door is in the Disciples of Christ, was dressed in all of his leathers, and then the dude standing next to him was in a crush orange Urlacher jersey saying welcome to church. And I was like, this is who, if Jesus was here today, these are the people that he's hanging out with, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the whores, the prostitutes, the taxpayers, like these are his people.
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And Brittany was like,
Wow.
that's where we're gonna go. And so on her call, and because of Jackson, we started going to church. And in that,
Wow.
like, not I don't really know what we're doing, kind of feeling something. Then Easter, right?
Mhm.
And Easter was big. They do a reenactment of the Last Supper.
Yeah.
And so like it's a stop and go, like different members or different, disciples are speaking. It was super powerful. And it was
Mm.
like, okay. Like obviously that's also a day where like it's kind of a big deal. You're right.
Yeah.
Easter's a big deal for us. And so it's a situation where the presence of the Holy Spirit is definitely strong. And you start to get tingles on the back of your neck and you're feeling a certain way. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shake this off and pretend like it didn't happen. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna I didn't no, don't do that.
So you
And
felt
then
something?
oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely a okay, like you're in the right spot. And this is what you're supposed to be doing. And
Wow.
then
Praise
it
God.
started like, okay, well I'm gonna then I don't know how it happened. Like I don't know how it happened. Obviously, I know how it happened. Like it was God. It was Holy Spirit. But it was like I'm gonna start listening to the Christian radio station,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna order a Bible,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna start doing this like daily devotional thing, and I'm gonna start listening to other podcasts. And that just obviously for you and I, like that's a
Yeah.
rabbit hole of you
Mm-hmm.
start listening to different people, right? And like all these military dudes and all these dudes that I've listened to, the Tim Kennedys and the Jockos, and even here recently Joe Rogan and like
Yes.
Dr. Jordan Peterson, like all of
Yes.
a sudden there's a lot of these in like there's a lot of big name people that are like proclaiming Christ. And I'm like, okay. And then I hit a Tim Tebow podcast. And obviously
Ooh.
that dude just gets you fired up no matter what,
Love
right?
Tim Tebow, yeah.
And he was on with a pastor, Joby Martin
Mm-hmm.
from Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And I started listening to some of his stuff. And he's doing a series of standing firm and acting like men and like what it means to be a man of God. And here's this minister that no sugarcoating, does not care. Like I'm teaching the Bible.
Yep.
This is how it is.
Yep.
I'm a good old Southern boy. Like, you're not going to tell me any differently. He rides
Yep.
his Harleys. He's tatted up. Dude is yoked. And I'm like, that's a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, for 2 years, he went on a crusade for 2 years of everything that he taught in church was all about being a man and doing what God has told you. He's like, so for the next 2 years, I'm sorry, women, but this needs to be fixed
Yeah.
because
Amen.
too much of this like polished over, and there's too many fluffy doughboys that are sitting on the pulpit that
Yep.
aren't cutting it
Yep.
when it comes to teaching men how to be men. And I think that y'all forgot just what a savage Jesus actually was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, with his words and his actions, like, you don't call somebody a brood of vipers, or you don't look at Peter and you called him Satan. And like,
Mm.
bro, you're like, obviously translationally we don't understand the
Right.
gravity of that, but like, that's really close to like profanity and
Mm.
basically telling you to get your shit together,
Yeah.
right? Like, he was no business, you
Yeah.
know? And but that's not the Jesus that we've been portrayed.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of these holier than thou types, or the different sects of religion. Like, we have one book and yet there are like
Yep.
30 different Christian
Yeah.
areas and beliefs. It's like,
Right.
how do you, so you can drink, you can't drink, you praise Mary, you guys think you're the original church,
Yep.
you're some backwoods, like, Holy Spirit, tongue speaking, like, whatever. Like, it's all different, but it's one book, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so here I am just kind of moving through this. And then I see you and I see your page. And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I know this dude.
Yeah.
And you completely changed. Like I said, or like you have mentioned, we kind of knew each other via like First Form, supplement
Mm-hmm.
superstores. Obviously, like, you have a gym over there, and or you did have a gym, and the guys from the stores would go in and do workouts and things like that. The group that owns that franchise set also owns the ones here in Illinois. So like, I would see you all the time
Mm-hmm.
via social media. And then I also followed you because of First Form, because I was a part of First Form for, well, shoot, almost 10 years now. So I've seen where you were, and I knew that you were an athlete. But this side of you, I hadn't seen before.
Mm.
And then here it is, like, okay, there's this dude that's my age running a business, doing some of these things, and I just felt called to like do something else. So being in the firehouse, and then being this First Form guy, and
Yeah.
nutrition because of a culinary, like, I have this knack of like fitness and nutrition, and obviously what we do. And so I'm always looked to as the person to help facilitate in some
Yeah.
aspects. And so then I'm like, all right, well, this would be a great business opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Let me reach out and just see kind of where some things are. And then all of a sudden you started doing all this, more of the faith stuff. And I was like, okay, well, faith and fitness, that goes hand in hand. And then I realized that you had your group, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And actually,
Yeah.
I did it behind Brittany's back.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah. Initially, I called you to set this up, and then I paid. And then she was like, what's this? I was like, oh yeah, I'm basically in a mentorship, and this is what I'm doing. And she was like, okay.
Yep.
So that's number one. Like, you know a lot about Brit, but that's like the first, like, she's like, okay,
Bro,
this is what we're doing.
honestly, like, there are I do talk to a lot of guys, and usually if they aren't ready to just jump on it and go, which isn't like all the time now, because the Brotherhood group is it's just consistent. Like, it's the real deal. Like, there's no
Mhm.
like, if you've been following me for a while, like, it is what it is. But there are guys, I'll get random guys who are like, yeah, I gotta run this by the wife, gotta talk to the wife. Part of my job on this call, whenever I talk to these guys, is to help them get out of their own way. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to. At the end of the day, your wife wants you to be a leader and make decisions that will benefit her and your family. Your wife
Yeah.
wants to see you lead. In leaderships, people who are leaders, they don't ask questions. They don't ask
No.
for permission. So it's like, if you're a leader, then you make a decision and you figure out how to make it work. And so when you say that and you say, oh, I told Brittany, and then she was like, okay. Like, some of the guys who I'm like, I've had multiple guys. Javier was one, Blake was one. There's a couple recent guys who like try to initially say that, and then I just put them in their place. I'm like, bro, you don't need to. Like, do you need this, or do you need someone's permission? You're like, no, I need this. But then they get off and they go tell their wife, hey, I did this. And the wife's response is just like what Brittany's was. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just like,
What does that
yeah,
mean?
because they've
What
been
do you guys
waiting
do?
for you to step up and do something.
Right. And
So
that's
I
just
love
how it
that.
started. And then, so that was, like you said, that was in April. Um,
Yeah, so how has things just for you, like when you look back and think of this journey, like April to now, like what stands out the most? What changes have you felt? How are you showing up at home differently? Just what comes to mind when you think of like, man, this whole time, this transformation, this journey, like what comes to mind?
Man, a lot. This summer was big.
Hmm.
It was big. So like I called you and we had talked and
Hmm.
it was, how you feeling, where you at? I'm like, man, I am climbing up this mountainside
Hmm. I
and there's
remember.
only one way down.
Yep.
Like I have to jump. But I'm that dude. Like there's always the one in the group like I'll jump. Let's go.
Yeah.
My wife, she's coming with me though. And so we're both walking up this thing together, like not really sure. We haven't discussed it. We haven't talked. We haven't opened up about this, but like without knowing, we were both going up that same hillside to
Hmm.
jump. It was just a matter of when. And so I
Hmm.
told you that when I came to this group, like I am on the cusp of doing this. I just
Hmm.
don't know. And you're like, all right, well, what I want you to do, and you sent me a devotional for the month of John.
Hmm.
And it was like, well, you have your Bible, you don't know what you're doing, start here. And then every day I want you to pray and asking for what to do next
Hmm.
and ask God about your salvation and take that leap of faith. That's what you told me to do. And I started that path. And then come June I lost my job.
Hmm.
I lost it because I made a mistake. I
Hmm.
owned up to the mistake, but ultimately I was let go. So I was the breadwinner, made really good money. But ultimately, with that too, being in the fire service around here, if you're not on a municipal department like the big city, you work for a lot of other agencies in part-time capacities.
Yeah.
So I've basically held, since Brittany and I've been together and doing this firefighter thing, if you will, I've always held at least a minimum of two jobs.
Hmm.
And at the height of it here, this last year, I had four. It was
Wow.
basically just like part time here, full time here, part time here, part time here. So 70 plus hour work weeks. There were days where I know that we got guys on our call or guys in the Brotherhood group that are also firefighters that's like, okay, 24/48, or they pick up two shifts and they're gone for 48 hours. That's cool. I consistently was Monday night I'm here, Tuesday morning I'm here, then I got to go back Tuesday night, and then I'm here Wednesday morning, then I'm back here Wednesday night, and then I finally have a day off on Thursday. So I'm gonna leave and I'll see you in 4 days.
Yeah.
Like because the 45-minute drive back and forth, like it's not worth it to come home to be home for 10 minutes to have to get back in the car. So
Yep.
that was all the time. And then that was Monday through Thursday or the weekends. And then Brittany, she's been in hospitality now for 20 years. She runs a bar and grill. And
Hmm.
so she works nights and weekends.
Right.
So like we're just two ships passing in the night. Like it was a wreck for
Yeah.
our marriage and for our emotional connection, our intimacy. Everything took a hit
Yeah.
hard. So losing my job was a big deal.
Hmm.
And then it was, what do I do? And basically for like a month I didn't know what to do and I didn't do a whole lot. And then she basically called me out for it. And she was like, you haven't even looked, you're not doing anything. I was like, well, I contacted so and so, or I reached out to so and so. And she's like, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a good spot. We're okay. But financially speaking, like we need to start moving. So I don't know. This is we decided to go ahead and jump into 75 hard
Hmm.
because why not?
Yeah.
When the going gets rough, you just
That's
you
everybody's.
you
Well,
you
life is hard right now, so I'm gonna do 75 hard.
I'm gonna do 75 hard, right? Like,
Yep.
cause like I work better under pressure. Like
Yeah.
I have all this going around me, and if I can do 75 doing those things, now I've got time. So
Hmm.
let's do it. Um, Going to church, doing some stuff with you guys, and talking with the groups. My pastor, he's written two different books.
Hmm.
One of them just came out recently. It's the 9 words of Jesus, and it's basically the what do you want me to do for you? And I
Hmm.
brought this up into the Brotherhood group
Hmm.
before, where he talks to the blind, or he talks to the beggar,
Hmm.
Like, but Jesus gives him that opportunity. Like, I know damn well what you want, but you're
Yeah.
gonna tell me,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do for you? I want to be healed, right? So that book was amazing. But my wife read his first book, and his first book was 41 Will Come. Uh Man, so the premise of that one is basically like there's a lot of 40s in the Bible, but then there's 41. So Noah and the ark, 40 days. Day 41, there's hope. David and Goliath, 40 days. And then on day 41, here comes David. Jesus is tempted in the wilderness for 40 days. And then day 41, he starts his ministry,
Mm-hmm.
rises from the grave, and he's with the apostles for 40 days. And day 41, he ascends to heaven. So there's 41 is coming is a big deal.
That's so good.
So I have this written down too. July 22nd. I don't know what happened. We went totally off script that morning and we did not have a Bible study. You had this like thing come to Jesus moment of like,
Oh
yo,
yeah.
this, I don't know why the Holy Spirit laid this on me, but somebody in here has to listen to this and has to, like, we have to talk
Yeah.
about this. Like, if you died today, are you going to heaven?
Mm.
Period. Like, what is your salvation? Do you know? Because you're here,
Mm-hmm.
you're in this group. Do you know? And then you let a prayer.
Come on. God is good, man.
And yeah, man. Like I prayed along with you, and I asked for my own salvation.
Mm. Amen. Let's go.
I feel like Cuban Gooden Jr. And I'm like, I wasn't supposed to cry on this. You got to make me
Man,
cry.
bro.
Jerry Maguire.
Praise
Anyway, all right, so
God,
I'm not crying
bro.
anymore.
That's good.
So
God is
I asked
good.
for my own salvation. And then that weekend, we had our first Brotherhood meetup.
Mm-hmm.
And in between this, Brittany knew that it was coming. And she was like, I think you should go. I'm like, I just lost my job. Now you want me to go over here? And she's like, yeah, you should go. So I set that up. I reached out to you like, yeah, I'm coming. But in this, I had a friend that had helped us out in some the down and dirties, like with our financial stuff. Like we got into we refinanced our home and did some things, but then I looked at him for some different investments, and he was just like, with who you are and how much you care, I think that you would be great at this.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. He was like, well,
Great at what?
you should come. This is amazing. I'm gonna hit you up with my team lead. Like, you're gonna hear it all. And so then we were in this three-way chat and back and forth. And then they're like, oh, and by the way, like the company's having this huge conference next weekend. I'm like, all right, what does that mean? He's like, it's in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't go to, what are you talking about? Like, that's okay, this is crazy. No,
Yeah.
like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Then, shortly thereafter, get a phone call, and it's basically like, if you can get here, I will pay for everything. You can room with me. The conference is free. I'll help you pay for food. Like, you just need to get here.
Wow.
And then I sat down with Brittany, and Brittany's like, I think you should go. This is number two, right? This is number two.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Praise
Like,
God for
are,
her.
who are you? What did you
Yeah.
do with my wife?
Yeah.
Right? And she was like, yeah, you should go.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So then I call him back and I'm like, all right, I'm in. He's like, okay. And just for that, I'm gonna pay for half your flight.
Wow.
Okay, here it is. So this whole time, kind of this backtrack, I've come into you and trying to do some stuff, and then I've listened to other guys talk about their own salvation and their moment, and obviously like your story of like I heard God and I got on
Mm-hmm.
my knees. And
Mm-hmm.
this whole time I'm like, man, I don't have that story. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then this all just like boom, 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 boom happened. It was just,
You were in the
and
middle of the story the whole time.
I had no idea. Yeah, you're in the middle of the storm. Had you just like, I talk a lot. So, and I know that, like, he gave me the gift of gab, blessing and a curse, right? So
Hey.
apparently, while he's trying to tell me stuff, I'm just
Yeah.
talking way too much. Like, you need to sit down and shut up, right? Listen. So,
Guys.
listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
So
Isn't
here I
that
am,
crazy though? How
listening.
I've been there too. Like I've like, man, I've never had, whether it's like a God moment or just like life. I'm like, I've never like had a moment. I feel like I've
Yeah, I
never
don't
had
know
a
what that
moment.
is.
But then when it happens, you're like, I've literally been in this moment the whole time.
Yeah, like, this is
This is the moment. I just didn't
okay.
know it. Yeah.
I had no idea. This
Yep.
is this is this is the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, what is my story? Where is this at? And then I joined this group. We went over, like, I went to Vegas. I fell in love with the company and with how things are going. And it was like, holy cow. And then coming back, it was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do now. And we had set up a company. We just, like, we went full blown. Like,
Yeah.
what are we going to do? Like, and I had a plan for like a fitness and a gym, and I had talked to you like, man, I'd
Mhm.
love to do what you do, right? Like faith and fitness, this would be great. And I already have my ideas. And then this opportunity with helping people financially
Yeah.
just kind of spun its head big time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then like Dave Ramsey pieces and these alternative spots over here and some of these things, it was just like, okay, well now what? Well, now
Mhm.
you have faith and you have finance and you have fitness because those are the three key areas in anybody's life, right? Like if you're not right with God, you just ain't right,
Yep.
and you have to be selfish to be selfless, right? So you have to take care of yourself because it's a crusade to better yourself to be able to go do the things. And then one of the biggest hindrances and one of the biggest reasons for divorce is
Finance.
finance and just getting trapped into that wheel. So it's like, who am I to help these people or to
Yeah.
do this thing? And it was like, no, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's
Amen.
like, okay. And then I joined, my wife and I got reached out to about another opportunity. And, she took it and went head on. And then I'm over here like listening and watching. And I'm like, I want to be a part of that group too. Like, let's go. Right. And so now we're over here doing this piece,
Yep.
with financial education and helping people out, and it's absolutely amazing. And so now here I am, I'm like, God, I feel lost in the firehouse, I don't know what I'm doing, I need some help, I need guidance. And then here you come. I'm like, okay, I think I'm kind of doing this thing. And then here he comes,
Mhm.
right? And lo and behold, he's in ministry. My team leader was in ministry for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
He does all the music, so he's a worship pastor.
Yeah.
Here's you in this group of men, and then here God presents me another group of men for this business opportunity.
Mhm.
And then my wife gets involved with this company, and lo and behold, their CEO is faith driven. And I'm like, you have one funny sense of humor. Like,
I mean,
you.
I can't help but just think in my mind as you're saying all that, I'm just like, man, the power of just being obedient. Because all of this really started from I'll even go back to this. And this goes back to who you are. Like I said earlier, like if Mikey says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. But how many parents would probably hear that from their kids? Like, I want to get baptized, I want to learn about it. And then they'll acknowledge it, but then like, it'll just pass and time will go on and then they'll never they won't actually follow through with taking their kid to church or like you said, all right, well, I'm going to have to take you to church. Like how many parents actually would follow through with that? I don't think as many because life is just busy and crazy and I'm not saying all of them,
Mhm.
but just your obedience in that which led to you getting more curious about your faith, which led to the brotherhood group, which led to the job and God, and as you were talking to, like what I feel like happened with me, God was like, okay, Steph, in your gym, you're not gonna grow into the man I need you to be. Like this is not where you're at, so I'm gonna yank you out. And it
Right.
came, and the way that it happened was devastating. It was
Yes.
not
The
how I wanted
worst
it to
timing.
happen. Worst timing, worst way. Like lost friendships, lost really, really good
Hmm.
friends, and
Yeah. Same.
reputation. And it was just like
Yep.
it was just so, and it was so abrupt. It was
Yeah. Oh
out of
yeah.
nowhere. And in
Same.
the moment, like for you too, you're like, this, I don't want this. This is the worst thing that could happen. And God's like, actually, this is what literally needs to happen for this other path to be visible for you. Because you wouldn't see this path if you stayed here.
No, you weren't. No, a year or two ago, I mean, a year ago, I was gung ho about being the next assistant chief
Yeah.
at our job. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the firehouse and the company that I was a part of. I would have to go through a couple more steps and do some things, but like that was ultimately like the position that I was gunning for, and you weren't going to tell
Yep.
me otherwise. And I
Right.
had,
And bro, same with
I
me.
had.
Like I would have told you, Maggie asked me probably, so I left in April of 24. Maggie asked
Mhm.
me probably at the end of 2023, October, November, somewhere in that range. She asked me, she said, do you ever think you would leave the gym? And without hesitation, I said, no. why would I do that? I started this thing. There is no way.
Yeah.
And
No,
God was
there's
like,
absolutely no way.
you're cute. You're funny.
Right. He's up there like, watch this.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah.
He's up
So
there with friends, family, everybody else, and he's just like, hey,
look at this guy.
watch your boy.
Yeah. Yep.
My dad passed away a couple years ago, so my dad's probably up there with him, and he's just, like, hey, Tim, watch what I'm about to do. And my dad's like, I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And we've been blessed. We've been blessed
Amen.
because, of what he happened to have left us was I didn't see coming. And it wasn't by the grand scheme of things, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't some astronomical number, but I mean, for us, it was like, wow, like I could basically, you could go buy a brand new house and pay it for cash and be
Wow.
okay. You know what I mean? Like it was enough, but at the same time, like looking at who he was, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see that. He was an avid fisherman and he loved his grandkids. Like
Yeah.
that was my dad.
Yeah.
And coincidentally enough, we actually named our company kind of in an ode to him, and just as a fisherman, because when Jesus first asked the first disciples, it was, throw down your nets, I will make you fishers of men.
Mm-hmm.
So our actual corporation name is Halius, which is Greek for fisherman, coming out of
Wow.
that Matthew 4:19.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of an like not even looking at it in that fashion. Like I just kind of came up with it. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is great because like we're trying to do all these things for people. And then I started like thinking of logo ideas and different things. And I'm like, and you've seen like my tattoo, like I have this fish
Mm-hmm.
on my forearm because of my dad. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
That's cool.
you do
Wow.
have a funny sense of humor, right?
Dang.
So it's crazy just how it all timed out and how it works. And so I mean now it's just now we're building a family business and we're trying to help other people, with just life, man. I mean, I
Bro,
don't
I'm just like I don't even know what I would say, but I'm just like, in my mind, I want to say from rags to riches, but I don't mean in a financial way at all. I mean in like
know.
how you were living and the direction your
Yeah.
life was going
Yeah.
from rags to riches. That's kind of what's like popping in my head, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful. I love it, man. I appreciate you sharing. So, just last thing, how would you encourage? Because I do have mostly men who listen to this,
Hmm.
and we talked about how we know, especially in my line of work now, like my biggest challenge. I was telling somebody this today. My biggest challenge is number one, getting men to admit, like, okay, the direction I'm going is not okay.
Hmm.
I need help and guidance and coaching and mentorship to get to where I want to go. And that's not bad.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean I'm weak. So, with like all of that in mind, just thinking about your journey, how would you encourage that guy who is on that current rags route and he wants to get to
Man.
riches? And again, I'm not talking financially.
No, no.
I would
I know
say you
exactly
would
what you're talking
probably
about.
say you are very, with the way your life is now, and I don't mean financially, but I would probably say you would say your life is wealthy now
Yeah, in
compared to where it
abundance.
was.
Abundance.
So what would you say to that guy who's just, even if things on the outside look good, but he knows he's just going in a direction, not leading, not serving, not supporting, not taking care of himself, just living a life that is going down a path of rags.
Man, first and foremost, like, man, this is you actually asked this question the other day. It was like, what's in your head or what goes through your head when you think about certain things about what you're supposed to do? Like, go pull up a David Goggins video and like have that dude start talking to you in your head, right? Like you and I both know. Go look in a mirror,
Mm,
man. Go look in a mirror and lie to yourself. I dare
mm-hmm,
you. You can't.
mm-hmm,
Because you can say the words, but in your head you're already thinking of everything that you know that you're supposed to do.
mm-hmm,
You just have to do it. You have to get out of your way. And the biggest thing, like we had this conversation the other day too, with like when you're going through some struggles, like what happens or how do you handle it? And I'm like, I clam up.
mm-hmm,
I ball up because I don't want to be a burden. And I
mm-hmm.
know so many men are out here that same exact mindset.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not burden like in the ways that like some of the females are probably thinking, because I need to address this situation with the female audience that watches your show. We don't do that. We do it because it's a defense mechanism.
Mm,
I don't need to, you worry about everything. My
Yeah.
wife and I got into this. I was like, you worry about your job. You've got 15 employees calling you. You've got the kids, the house, the dogs. We're trying to do this thing. Like the last thing you need is more shit on
Mm-hmm.
your plate. So you want me to open up to you, but the reality is like I need to fix my own stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
therefore like I'm not going to burden you with how I'm feeling because I'm
Mm-hmm.
also trying to deal with how you're feeling. And I'm wired in a way to where you tell me there's a problem, I'm going to find a solution.
Yeah.
You
Right.
might have meant it rhetorically.
Yeah.
However, because you said it out loud, I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm gonna
I
fix it.
have a
Yeah.
mouth. I
Yeah.
can't just
Yeah.
not say something. So, man, if you are in that spot, go look in a mirror
Mm-hmm.
and tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you're going to make through.
Yeah.
When you realize that something like this exists, like I can right now, I can get on our group chat right now and I can have 30 dudes start praying for me.
Yep. That's facts.
And
Wow.
every single one of those dudes all have their own shit that they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad. We've got guys in every atmosphere, right? We've got young kids that are early 20s. We got some old men, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got Rev. Like we have everything in between. We've got guys that have great marriages. We have
Mm-hmm.
guys that are battling,
Struggling.
potential divorce.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to get out of your own way. So go look in the mirror, go tell yourself the truth because you know what you need to do and you just got to do it. That's
I
all it
love it.
comes down to.
I love it. Tell yourself the truth, and I love how you also said, and then do something about it, because that is the next step. But man, Mikey, such a good conversation, man. That was so good. I learned a lot about you and your story. I think just more in depth things about you, and I appreciate it, man. So where can people? I know you're building your social media now, so that's great.
Mhm.
Where can people find you? What's your social media, and where do you post mainly at?
Mainly, I mean, I'm trying to do the whole across the spectrum kind of thing. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, doing the reels and the shout outs. So Mikey Brown, Peanut, but Peanut is spelled Pnut. It's shortened. Like everybody uses Peanut, so I had to come up with a clever way to do it differently. So
Figured it out.
MikeyBrown.peanut is pretty much my handle for just about everything. And yeah, we're trying to build something, just trying to educate people and help. Like I did not expect to be here. So from firefighter and culinary and
Yeah,
bartending to financial coaching,
yeah,
like that was not the direction my
dude.
life was headed. But here we are,
Here
man.
we are.
And God has done all of it. So
Amen.
I
Love it.
appreciate you, man. I love you so much. I'm glad to help you out.
Yeah,
And thank you for inviting me to be here with you, man. I
dude.
really
Thank.
appreciate it.
Love you too. Thanks for doing it. And man, let's keep going. Let's keep climbing.
Let's go.
Awesome. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.